I do have a GoPro on my chest as well. I was just gonna basically use the GoPro as the main camera, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use what remaining batteries left in this camera. But you can see the artwork here.
Situated within the northwest part of Avondale, Arizona, lies Goodyear Farms Cemetery, also known as Litchfield Cemetery. The cemetery is primarily known for being the final resting spot for those who perished during the Spanish Influenza epidemic that began near the end of World War I in 1918. Stretching for 2 insufferable and sad years, those who died were many Mexican migrants and Native Americans who worked in the surrounding areas, including Goodyear Farms and Wigwam Resort in Litchfield Park. This cemetery has been on my radar for a few years, so I finally made the 20-minute drive, excited to experience all the uncertainties. It was on this day that I was able to go on another one of our Eerie explorations.
I definitely need to do a little more research as to what this is all about, what this artwork represents, and there's obviously some kind of meaning. Let's go over here and check out the main sign real quick. So the history, here's the history part. I'll go ahead and, I won't read it right now during the video, but I'll put it on here long enough so you can read it and maybe take a screenshot. This is the perimeter, or the extent of the cemetery. You'll see that the burials are way different here than they are at your normal cemeteries, whatever you would call them, a normal cemetery, but not it's just a stone slab basically. I don't even see names on these, so definitely need to do some research and gather some historic facts about the cemetery so I can present those to you. Looks like, does that say, I don't know if that says 1887. I think it does. I'm going to try to not step on any of these stones for respect of the ones that are buried here. Mary Average? I'm not too sure, but it looks like she was born in 1887, passed away in 1939. So, Mary, hope you continue to rest in peace. I'm hoping that this is the final resting spot for you is a good one, and you're enjoying the afterlife, the spirit world. These are really close together. You can see probably separated by about maybe 2 feet. So looks like we have a Ramon Pinera. Some interesting burial stones. Jose Moreno. This is definitely, it's born 1861, 1926, so be anxious just to learn when this history, or when the cemetery started, or its formation date. So I'm gonna walk the exterior first and make my way into the middle. If there's anybody here with me right now that would like to communicate with me, you're welcome to do so. The device that's in my right hand, although intimidating looking, is harmless, and you'll see a little red light. If you speak into that red light, I will be able to hear you. And or if you have enough energy to speak where I can hear you with my ears, that would be awesome too. It says Clemente. I don't know that. A lot of these burial slabs, stone slabs, are very similar to the next one. Looks like someone used their finger or maybe a stick to write the person that's buried here, their name and the information that goes along with that. But looks like 1947. I can't really tell. I want to say 1947 or 1942. This one's pretty interesting. Hemateria. That's a cool name. So yeah, I don't want to. I just want to, do a quick little walkthrough of it right now, just to get a feel for the cemetery, the layout. Document the, just basically the extent of the cemetery. Let's see here. It's pretty interesting. Burial site right here for the Salazar. So I read a few things about this place. It actually hit one of the top 10 most haunted cemeteries in Arizona. I will try to locate that video or the person that actually conducted that top 10 list. Share that in the link below so you can check that out. I am a believer in that every cemetery, anytime you bury a loved one where their soul's resting and their energy is within that soul or, on the premise, I believe that the ground is haunted. So therefore, when you go to a cemetery, I feel like that's every cemetery is haunted, so to speak. So I just think it has to do with what experiences do you have at that given time that you're visiting that cemetery to be able to say that it was haunted or not haunted. I keep trying to compare ghost hunting with fishing, whereas sometimes you go fishing and may not catch anything, and sometimes you'll go fishing and it'll be as active as can be. You'll get lots of bites, some catches. So you got to be patient with this. Today, it'd be a bonus if I captured something or was interacting with a resident spirit. My intention is just to document this place and, I think what I'm gonna do, I said I would tour the place. I think I'm gonna just come back this way and maybe begin at the K2 meter read. I think I should have done that from the get-go. You'll see I have the K2 meter, have that's ready. So it's definitely turned on. You see that little green light. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stay on the exterior part of the cemetery. So if there's anybody here with me right now, there's a gauge or a device in my left hand. Has these collar little lights, starting from a light green all the way to a red. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out of camera's view and still have it running, and if there's any reads, I'll definitely display them on the camera. But you'll see that this is a very unique cemetery. Oh my gosh, look at this. The Corona burial site. Somebody must have been a really big fan of Corona. So like I said, I have this gauge in my left hand. It's harmless. If you just reach out and touch it, it'll give me a sign that you're here and you're wanting to communicate with me. Unfortunately, I don't have that ability to pick up energy, like just feel energy like like Heather and my wife Heather and daughter Madison, they can come to these places and automatically just feel things, and I don't have that. Unfortunately, I don't have that ability to pick up on energy like that. Now, there are times where I do feel energy, where it's really, really prevalent. But for the most part, I don't have that ability, and I guess maybe in a good way, in a way that's a good thing. So we have Linda Johanna Mendoza. If there's anybody here with me right now, I'm standing here. One of the nicest people you're ever going to meet, and basically just asking that you communicate with me. And there's this gauge in my left hand. If you wish to do so, this gauge is a good starting point. If you have anything to say, also say it too, because the device in my right hand will record your voice. And continue here. It's interesting. Some interesting burials here. I don't even know what the cemetery, if you know the cemetery, what it compares to. It's just got its own little uniqueness and charm that separates it from all the others that I've ever been to. It almost has a feeling of how I felt when Heather and I went to Ajo and visited Ajo Cemetery. But even Ajo had it seemed a little bit normal looking. Like your typical cemetery, as opposed to here. Now these seem to be a little more like typical burials, where you have the stone and I guess a headstone or tombstone on the slab. Don't want to walk within this fence area though, just because this may have been, I don't know, not sure what the fence is for with this one, but I'm going to respect it and make my go around it. So like I said, I have this device. Feel free to reach out and make your presence known, make your presence known. That's pretty cool. Not sure what this board on this ground represents, but I'm gonna assume that I shouldn't walk on it. Papa, you will always be remembered. Rest in peace. Paul Rivera, rest in peace, sir. Your family loved you. You have a beautiful burial slab and tombstone. I don't feel energy. I'm also not picking up energy, but you know what? This is a beautiful day to be doing this. I finally got a chance to get out to the cemetery. Been wanting to do this for quite some time now, and I have no excuses. I had plenty of time to. So it does say low battery on the camera. I think it's, yeah. So my camera just shut off. All right, so it looks like I didn't actually bring an additional battery for the main camera, so I'm gonna stick with this camera on my chest, and I'm gonna continue to walk through of the cemetery. I think we're over here. If there's anybody here with me right now, I've made my round around the cemetery now, and I can confirm to you that this is a beautiful place, and your families loved you very much, and I'm hoping that you rest in peace, all of you. I do ask if you have the energy to come forth and make your presence known. Oh. Are you trying to interact with me right now? Got a big spike right here. Were you trying to reach out to me? That false alarm? All right, if that was you and you want to continue to try to communicate with me, please do so. You saw that was painless, right? When you touch this device and interact with me, nothing happened to you. So if you want to continue to interact with me by touching this gauge, please, I ask you nicely and kindly. Now I'm gonna head down the central part of the cemetery on this sidewalk. Goodyear Farms Cemetery Veterans Memorial. I'm gonna take a look at this real quick. United States Navy, United States of America. I'm going to thank all of you for serving this country, for putting your life on the line in the act of duty to help serve and protect this country. So I thank you greatly. I just cannot thank you enough for all the sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears. May you rest in peace. In the meanwhile, I am at a Anacleto. Not sure if that was a name, or maybe need to look that up. And it looks like 1931 to 1998, July 13th, November 3rd. So I'm guessing it's a name. I'll tell you, it's pretty peaceful here. It is nestled right next to a elementary school, so there's a good chance you're gonna hear, in fact, you're probably hearing them now, kids at recess. So that might interfere with the possibility of resident spirits speaking and trying to communicate with me through the speakers. So I'm hoping I can still pick those up. But I'm asking you kindly to use all your spiritual energy to communicate with me. Well, that's the wrap up. That's the whistle. Recess is over whistle, or so maybe we'll start getting quieter. So on one side of the cemetery, which would be I'm guessing it'd be the south side, would be the school, and then on the north side, there's some businesses over there. So it's definitely, the town was built around the cemetery like normal, typical fashion. And I'm just gonna take a guess that this cemetery no longer host new burials. I haven't seen any recent burial through my time here. All right, so you guys have been pretty quiet now, and I realize that I'm a stranger walking into your home. Oh. Were you trying to communicate with me? don't know if you can see that, but I'm using my shadow as shade. It did spike over to the next green light, so the second green light, for a moment. So I'm going to try my best to keep the K2 position this way as I walk forward, so you can see it. So you'll see it lit up again here. So is there anybody here with me right now trying to communicate with me? So I basically have to walk like a South Park character to wobble around so I don't permit the sunlight. So there's kids jumping on that gate. Hope parents see that. Anyway, I don't want to put that on the video, but some kids trying to escape school by jumping over, and I'm hoping a parent sees that. Here's a school bus, so maybe the school bus will do something about it. Yeah, you're in trouble, kid. Should not be jumping on gates. It just makes you wonder where the teachers are at this point. Anyway, I hope he doesn't make a mistake and try to jump that gate. Anyway, so continuing here. This is an interesting burial slab. Anyhow, so continuing on here, if you were communicating with me while I was distracted by a kid that was trying to jump over that fence, thank you for your attempts. Otherwise, if you want to continue to communicate with me, or you want to start communicating with me, I'm holding this device, and this is going to be the catalyst in me communicating with you. So I appreciate your I'm guessing the sound that I just heard is coming from somebody's backyard. So it's also, as you can see, I'll just give you perspective if you haven't seen it. You'll see housing right just beyond that wall, that stone wall, and then the school's over here. Then the kid is still trying to jump that fence. And then there's more housing on this side, so the east side. And then that business complex just past the stone gate, the parking lot, past the parking lot. I am noticing, I guess it's pretty smart, you'll see that pole right there, and then you'll see a box up there in that pole. My guess, that's a security camera. So if Damon from Eerie Explorations decided to think it was a good idea to come out here at night past its, the closing time, I would be subjected to possible possible trouble, basically. So I don't think I'm going to make that. Yeah, those kids are crazy. Recess bell or whistle happened like 10 minutes ago, and those kids are still out by that gate. Yeah, it's been pretty peaceful here. So any of those that live in this area that haven't had a chance to come out and visit this place, the cemetery, I would urge you to do so. I don't know if I would urge any of those that are out of this country or even out of the state to make the trip, to visit here, because I don't know how to convince you that that's a good idea. So we have the Goodyear Farms Cemetery Veterans Memorial, Department of the Army, 1775, Department of the Navy, United States Marine Corps, and then United States Coast Guard, 1790, and then Department of the Air Force. I can't be more thankful for all those that's fought for this country and, you know, stand our ground and in the act of protection. So thank you all. If you're here with me and you've served in our military to defend our country, if you're, you know, I thank you for that. I'm standing here right now and I have a device that's going to allow you to, I actually have two devices that's going to allow you to communicate in two different methods or different ways. One is physically. Definitely you're welcome to don't punch me or hit me, but you're welcome to touch me. You're also welcome to interact with this device in my left hand. You'll see that it's got these pretty lights. Well, it starts with, it's on green right now, but they can get much prettier if you touch it. You can also, there's a little blinking red light on this device that's on my chest. You could definitely speak into that. You know, give us some basic information like, you know, what year did you pass away in? What was life on Earth when you were alive? So I'll give you a few moments to share that information if you're listening and you are communicating with me right now. I'm just gonna find a place and I'm gonna try to communicate with that individual that's buried there. And I'm hoping that I pick the right person. You know what? This might be a good spot. Under the shade tree. Hey Zeus, are you here with me right now? If you're here right now, give me a sign of your presence. I've been drawn to your particular burial, and I mean no disrespect in doing so, but they found a beautiful place to bury you. And you were well loved when you were alive. You were well loved as a husband, a father, a grandfather. Those 3 words right there, or 4 words, say a lot about who you were when you were alive. But I see you don't have any desire to communicate with me, so I might leave your area. Walk over here and see if I can find a contestant number 2. Looks like Alicia. I'm gonna go ahead and try to communicate with you. If you're here with me right now, I kindly ask that you communicate with me. I do see that it looks like you were 19 years old when you passed. At least that's how I'm reading it, and I might be wrong on that, but en diciembre 24 day 1937. So Alicia, if you're here with me right now, I have this device in my right hand. You'll see it that I'm moving it around right now. This device will allow me to pick up your energy if you go to and touch this device, and it will light up for me. So do you have the energy to reach out and try to communicate with me? I take silence and no interaction as a indication that you do not want to communicate with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave your area, but not before telling you that I hope that you rest in peace and that life in the spirit world is going good for you. Thanks for allowing me to spend some time to try to communicate with you. All right, yeah, this is probably the hardest part about investigating cemetery anywhere, just any location, is that you have to eventually say goodbye and leave. And I think that's what I'm planning on doing right now. Is I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. As I head back to my car, I just want to say, you know, thanks to all those that have supported our channel up to this point. And all the new subscribers, I want to thank you. Thank you very, very much for, you know, finding enough value in the videos that we present to you for you to be a subscriber. All the existing subscribers, thanks for, you know, your continued support.
Even though the exploration at Goodyear Farms Cemetery ended here, my excitement for the history that this location resonates with will live forever. It's fascinating that there are so many burials here that are more than 105 years old. Burials that will continue to guard and provide comfort to those resting here in tranquility. Thank you for watching, as this was just another one of our eerie explorations.